we're going through the supermarket. He's doing his lyrics, and the security guard jumps in. It's not even. It's like a manager. He's filming it. Puts his hand over the screen. I don't know if it would make radio on.
Did egos get in the way? Was a rivalry between you guys?
Partner, they sent me equipment, and the equipment was wireless, and I picked the thing up, and instantly I realised I could play it like an instrument. One of the team who was filming, one of them would come upstairs, and it's pulled up in a Ferrari, and I was like, yeah. London definitely shaped that scene.
When you go into space?
Oh.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Loud Unfiltered. This is our Inside London series, and today I am honoured to be sitting down with Grime royalty, DJ, producer, promoter, man's about, the one and only Mac 10.
Thank you. Thanks.
What's happening, brother? It's good to have you on.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
It is an honour. It really is. We've wanted to have you on for a while, so it's great to be able to sit down with you and have a little chat. Listen, let's kick things off. Tell us a little bit about you, where you came from, where it all started.
Oh, just I'm from East London, Mac 10. DJ, started playing drum and bass, garage, and then what changed into grime. Yeah.
What made the change? What was the transition like?
The transition was MCs wanting to MC over a darker style of garage, and also learning to produce. So I just think it was a DIY way of making our own garage and our own sound, and we just stumbled across what is known today as grime.
Was it always DJing, or was there ever a time you were going to be, it was the MC route you wanted to go down? Got some bars?
I feel like I tried to, but I wasn't very good at it.
You got some bars?
No.
No?
I've given it a go, but it's not me.
Fine, fair.
Yeah.
What was the, did you have any early influences in kind of making that sound and making that move? Family, artists?
Yeah, 100%. I think very early days, it would have been MC Shabba, Skibbity, a lot of people around the jungle and drum and bass scene, and then it turned into Creed, PSG. In terms of DJs, it would be Carl Tough Enough Brand, EZ.
Yeah.
Those were more major influences, and then, yeah.
What was obviously it's a big change in scene. What was was there big cultural differences or big movement differences in how in grime compared to the jungle, drum and bass, garage scenes?
I don't know if it was a cultural thing. I think it may have been cultural. It was more to do with age.
Okay.
I believe. I think generation, I should call it.
Yeah.
The generation that was into garage was a lot older and used to doing things a certain way and being a certain way in terms of how music was conducted and listened to, and how it should be performed. And I kind of think the grime lot was a lot more rebellious and wanted to shake things up in terms of how things are done. And I don't think it was intentional. It just is what it was.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just what happened. So the structure of how performance was changed.
Do you think London shaped that scene, or do you think the scene started to shape London?
London definitely shaped that scene, because I think, I can't say that like as a fact, but I believe so, because a lot of the pirate radio and the way the London culture was at the time was all embedded in pirate radio. A lot of these sounds was born from being able to make something or write something and put it on a station for people to hear straight away. So it was almost like our SoundCloud or our Spotify's of today was pirate radio.
Do you think obviously pirate radio is not what it was then. A lot of those stations, I guess, are still, Rinse and Cool and stuff, still kicking about, but doing their thing, but not so much pirate anymore, the fully,
legal.
legit legal stations. Has the scene changed? Or I guess it has changed, but how much did you think had that influence in the scene changing with it going from pirate to legit? And it's, and I guess that's also kind of coupled with how, grime has gone from underground to pretty mainstream now, right?
Yeah, I think the change from it going to legal at first was like, it was huge, because it's like, wow, this thing's gone from underground that no one could have seen it being accepted as a legal station. And then stations like Rinse getting a license was a huge deal when it happened. But then obviously what happened was streaming kicked in.
Yeah.
And that sort of disrupted everything all over again.
Yeah. How did you, obviously a lot of people will know you from Nasty Crew.
Yeah.
How did that come about? You know, that was major egos, major names.
Yeah.
What was it like getting involved in that? How did you kind of move into that? And what was it like being part of that? You know, some, you know, D-Double, Kano, Footsie, you know, all these kind of guys kicking about. And did egos get in the way? Was there rivalry between you guys?
No, I think there was always a sort of friendly competition.
Yeah.
Where we all grew together, like in terms of as artists, had sort of all grown together. I don't think that the ego stuff had set in straight away.
Yeah.
But as any group, you know, grows, those things start to settle in. But it wasn't really anyone was really acting out of character.
Yeah.
I think things may have been going on behind closed doors in terms of opportunities where people knew that they may have wanted to separate in order to get that opportunity.
Yeah. What about the other crews? You know, you had like Roll Deep and Rough Squad and stuff.
They was rivals. Roll Deep was our main rivals, which was Wiley, Dizzee, you know, Flo Dan. I think people would pit us two together, because we was the two making the most noise at that moment.
There must have been some wild battles and things kicking about. I mean, there must be some mad stories from back then.
Yeah, I think the main thing that happened was on Deja, our sets was after each other. So we was 8 till 10, Roll Deep was 10 to 12. And I think one day I sort of called up one of the guys from Roll Deep and said, like, listen, let's do a 4-hour show. Let's combine them, because, you know, when things are getting a bit dry, a bit like, oh, we need something new. And that was my idea to, you know, to put both crews together on this 4 hours. And we did that. And I think that one is still spoken about today. There's
a video, I can't remember which one it's from, but that one, there was a mad viral video from like way back, must have been like early 2000s or something, where it's like Wiley and Dizzee and there's everyone's in there, and you're kind of looking around and it's like, oh man, was that same one?
That could have been, but that
in like a garage.
Yeah, that's Deja Vu was on a rooftop, and basically it's like a lift shaft. So in the lift shaft there was the station.
Okay.
Right, but there wasn't a lift in there. But
okay,
that's where the station was. So that video, what you saw, would have been taking place every week. They just happened to capture that moment. And there was a few, like Jammer had a birthday bash. There's another famous one where Dizzee's sort of clashing with Titch. There's one where it's Lethal versus Wiley. There's a lot of sort of clashing stuff that was captured.
Did that scene or did that time when there was these mad clashes and stuff, is that a big part of what shaped what you do now? Are you trying to kind of make, you know, you like take that influence and then kind of build it into this new age culture of like pop-ups and TikTok and Instagram, social media?
I think not necessarily the clashing, but definitely the attitude of pirate radio and that whole attitude of, if like, a lot of the songs that was being made was because we couldn't get our hands on certain guaranteed songs, so we started to make them, or we couldn't get played on a legal station, so we'll make it our own. You know, it was all that sort of attitude was, if they don't let us in, we'll do it ourselves. Yeah. So I think that's the attitude what I carry with me today. Yeah. And I feel like I've always had a bit of that anyway.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
I had like just what you said there about, you know, not letting you in and having to do things yourself. I've never booked grime shows, right? Yeah. But I have booked grime artists. You know, when I was running I used to run drum and bass events.
Yeah.
Called BPM back in the day when I was like 10, 15 years ago. And we had, you know, Shabba, Skibba, Stormin, all the guys down. And it was a proper eye-opener for me, because I was like, you know, I'd come from like booking a lot of house and electronic and techno and, you know, electronic events basically. Yeah. And then I'm bass music of all kinds of bass, reggae, drum, bass,
Yeah.
hip hop. That's my passion.
Mhm.
Then I kind of started doing drum and bass stuff, and I come from, it was pretty, dealing with agents and stuff. When you're booking artists, fine. But the eye opener for me when I was started doing drum and bass stuff was that every time when I was doing those events, it was all 696 forms was still a big thing. You know what the 696? Remember what they were?
Is that the formula to give to the police?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to do that for every fucking lineup. And when you're booking, I've come from booking, a 7-hour house or techno rave or whatever with like 6 or 7 DJs. And now I'm booking 50 MCs and DJs in a drum and bass lineup for the same thing. And everyone has names and emails and stuff. And every single event, police are calling me. You got to get them in for an interview. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? This is like, I'm like, what is and the beef, there was some beef between different artists and stuff. I'm not naming any names with anybody, but, there was like, couldn't be in the same line as someone. And, there was, I understood the beef, but that's one thing. But having to get artists and MCs and DJs getting dragged in for interviews with the police and me getting told, no, you can't book him.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? And then I remember JME did a whole big thing. He talked about it a lot. I can't remember the video, but he did it on socials and it was a whole big thing. And that was a big reason why that forum doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
And it was exactly what you're saying. It was like, they're not letting us do our thing. So that was a big reason, we kind of kept it underground because it couldn't become mainstream. And then once those forums got removed, it became suddenly it was like a lease of life to the scene. And that wasn't, across everything. And now you see, I personally think that's a big reason why it's been allowed to become so mainstream.
Yeah.
Is it a good thing for the scene though? Yes, it's a good thing for the scene, but do you think, Grime becoming so mainstream, coming from, a lift shaft of Deja Vu to on main stage of the Brits, how do you think that's affected it? Is it improved it? Do you still think it's kept its roots?
Yeah, I think the roots will always be there, because the grassroots are always there. I think that's like the glory story for an artist to look towards. If that's the vision that they see for themselves, if they want to do that, they know that it's achievable. So I think, it's a great thing that, it's changed people's lives. So anything that can do that and shed light on the whole genre is great. I'm all for it. Just depends what level.
Yeah.
I'm not here for that.
Well, what's the
my opinion anyway.
Where's the bar? Where's the bar?
The bar is just when it, it's not really the music. It's like a lot like if it goes cheesy or something, it turns gimmicky, that sort of stuff. It's not for me, but whoever does it, fair play.
What was it like? Stormin was one of my favourite, and Skibber. I used to love two of the nicest guys I've ever booked in any show ever in my life.
Yeah.
And they used to come down. I remember Stormin came down to one of our shows, and his wife, he just had another baby.
Yeah.
And he literally came from the hospital, and he was like, "Nah, I'm calling him." I'm like, "Bro, are you going to be here?" And he's like, "No, I ain't missing this. I ain't missing this." And he's there, and he was down, and he was there, and he was, they were working with him. He was part of Nasty Crew, obviously. What was it like? How much did you love working with those guys, and how big an influence did those MCs and those DJs you were working around have on you, and are they still influencing you now?
Yeah, 100%. I think being in Nasty Crew was definitely one of my blessings in my career in terms of working with MCs. I learned so much from them. They gelled so well as a collective. It still lives with me today. I think a lot of the stuff I learned is still, I'm still actively doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any new producers kicking about now that you can see like that Nasty Crew influence? Like obviously, the sound's developed. It's it's commercializing. It's becoming, as we said, it's becoming a bit more mainstream. But anyone that you're seeing is like, he's got that essence of grime.
Well, let me think. You know what? There's a few producers that are doing bits and pieces, but in terms of like that old school essence, or just getting it. I don't know. There's a lot, man. There's a lot. These questions always throw me off because it's like I should have it there, but I get sent so much.
That's why I said to you. I was like, listen, I can give you some wee prep in advance. No, on the spot.
It's fine. No, like there's guys like Blizzard's doing well, Predator, Explicit, Spyro.
Yeah,
these guys are doing really well, but there's a lot of producers that's doing some exceptional tracks at the moment. So. I don't want to leave anyone out, but those guys will always be at the forefront.
Yeah, nice. what I said before, talking about the essence of grime, that actually segues very nicely into the essence, which is your kind of your spitting series. Can I call it a spit series? Freestyle series. Yeah.
Freestyle platform.
Just spitting freestyle.
Yeah.
Chucking random words at.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? You know, what was the obviously? I mean, I feel like there's obviously inspiration behind it, but yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah, no, my thing. There's loads of different reasons why that surfaced. I think one, I was streaming outside, and then I wanted to create something a bit different, and I noticed there was two things. That happened, and then obviously Alpha Theta Pioneer, they sent me equipment, and the equipment was wireless, and I picked the thing up, and instantly I realised I could play it like an instrument.
I love those. Sorry to cut you. I love when you're walking about, man, just on that wee deck, just flipping it about. It's so good. It's so different though. It's like it's not just this like static.
Yes. I'm a static shot is not me. I know some for a cameraman or a videographer, they like to have things on tripods. It's steady. You get to do camera can focus, So I understand that side, but I also understand that it's more exciting to be moving around, and I can be I could literally move to the left. I'm in a different location, and do it in one take. So it just excited me getting that piece of equipment, and also, the way that I was capturing content before meant I had to stand in one space, for hours on end and capture content and whatever happens. And I also had that one bit of the screen to work with. And I thought I could do this. It was around winter as well. So now I don't really have to stream. I can pull up, go somewhere, capture the content and leave within 10 minutes. So I was just doing that.
Do you feel there's a big, I've got loads of questions to ask about this, but just on what you said there, do you feel there's a big difference, or have you seen a big difference, whether it's engagement or, just the love for it from you or the artist, to live streaming versus pre-recording something?
I don't think live streaming benefits an artist right now, unless it's like in real life.
Yeah.
I can't see how the live streaming would benefit an artist because everything's on demand, right?
Yeah.
Unless like you're of a certain level, I would always gear towards pre-recording something for quality and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're doing it for monetary purposes, then a stream would make sense because people donate and things like that. But for me personally, I will go down the pre-record when it comes to music, unless it's in real life stuff, then that's when.
Yeah, I get that. No, that makes sense. Yeah. Who's your favourite guest that you've had on?
Oh, I've had some good ones, man. Do you know what? Flirta D's great. Dizzee Rascal has to be my favourite one because of the setting that I did it. I think I got Dizzee to come to a rooftop. I wanted to feel like Deja.
Yeah.
So we did it on a rooftop. Nice. And the guy one of the team who was filming, one of them would come upstairs and he's pulled up in a Ferrari. And I was like, yeah. Do you know what I mean? But the irony of getting Dizzee.
How different then? Why would have rocked up as Deja back in the day?
You know what I mean? The irony of Dizzee pulling up to in a Ferrari and getting on a rooftop. Do you know what I mean? Just to spit bars, and these real old school bars.
Yeah, man.
It was just it felt pretty cool that, I was able to pick the phone up, and the fact that he trusted me to deliver something that would make sense in that moment, because he's not a small artist and he's done a lot of cool stuff and very creative. So that was really cool for me.
Anyone you've not had on that you would love to have? Who's the dream that you've not had that you'd love to get?
Do you know what? I don't like.
It doesn't have to be Grime. Could be, it could be.
Yeah, you know what? I just really want to, I get excited about things that's within my culture. So, I'm gonna be excited. Like if I did something sick with Gigs, or I did something sick with Skepta.
Yeah.
Or just people that I'd really want to work with before I start thinking outside of the box. But there's also some just anyone who's really creative. That's willing to do something crazy for the content.
Yeah.
And to cause a stir.
Yeah.
To cause a stir.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you pre-plan stuff with them? Like, and I guess this applies for your DJ sets and stuff when you're playing in clubs or whatever as well. But do you ever? Is it all just off the cuff? Is it like I'm just going to drop this fucking whatever I drop and they're just going to roll with it, or is it like what do you want?
No, sometimes some artists know exactly where they want to be and how they want it to look, which is helpful. And other times I may come up with ideas. I did something, this came to me about something that we did. I'm trying to think what it actually was, but it just gelled. We went somewhere. Trying to think of which artist it was. And we was great story. Here we go. So there's an MC. I've got a track and a lot moving forward. I want to produce a lot of the tracks that go on at Essence, or it's from my label, or we're putting this stuff out, to stream. So they're available. So you're going to level up in that sense as well, so that it makes sense. So that what you see is able to go and stream it. As well as YouTube. But so there's an MC called Vader from Birmingham. I've got a track with him called Sunday Morning. And I was in Birmingham.
I love this, man. I think that's my favourite video as well. That's the video in the supermarket.
Yes, exactly. So this is what I mean. So this is just off the cuff. Now, this track's called Sunday Morning. I went to shoot Lady Leisha. So we went to film Lady Leisha. We did that one in like a shopping centre. And I told him I'd meet him because we was just going to get a content of him doing a piece of the track that we can use to promote the track. But where he's told me to meet him, I saw Audi. And I said, I'm waiting for him in the Audi car park. I said, we've got to go in there. It's got to be done in there. Now, one thing that tends to happen a lot, and every time this happens, it goes, if it don't go viral, it does great numbers, right? So, and that is a security guard or someone jumping in front of the screen and doing something silly. Now, when you're streaming outside, that's the one beauty of streaming, that is things can happen that you just, and you'll capture it, which is great, but you can also do the same. So we're going through the supermarket, he's doing his lyrics and the security guard jumps in. It's not even, it's like a manager. It's filming there, puts his hand over the screen. Now, I've told the guys I work with, the videographers, always never stop filming, because we've had some moments they'd stop filming, every moment. Like never stop filming.
It's the bits that you're not meant to film that are the best bits.
They're the bits. So that's my point exactly. That was off the cuff. Everyone's raving about that clip. So I think that was a really cool thing.
Yeah, that was jokes. I was gonna say, I'm glad you said that, actually, because I was gonna say that. I think that's my favorite. I'm trying to watch all of them. It's like, there's so many, man. But that is jokes, and that track is fucking hysterical. His lyrics are
exactly.
ridiculous.
That's one.
There was another video where I seen it. I can't remember what it was or where it was actually. But there was another video I seen him spitting those lyrics, and I was like, what the fuck?
You know what? That's what birthed that track. I believe. Like, he done that, and that went viral. And that's when I went to Birmingham, and I was doing the whole streaming thing. So that was from a stream, and I've taken that part.
Right, okay,
right? So I knew that those lyrics was already in my mind. We could make a hit out of that. So I went and produced the beat to what you heard now. So this is what I want to sort of zone in on going forward. So it's also great for sort of A&R-ing as well.
It's jokes, man. I don't know. Might get a lot of bleeps on Radio 1, but
he's made a radio edit. You get me, right? I don't know if it would make Radio 1.
If you listen to this track, we're going to drop a link for it in the comments in the video as well, so you're going to hear it. One of the things I found, just going back to what I was talking about with doing stuff with drum and bass and stuff, is grime artists grime MCs in particular, starting to come into that drum and bass scene and try and like be a bit more versatile, and not many can do it. Right? I've seen a lot of it. I think Mr. Jam used to do his 60 minute D&B thing, and you had a couple of grime MCs coming on that were like, can't do it. And they're coming on with Shabba, Skebba and Shota, and I can't remember, there was a couple that were really not good. But then you got people like P Money. Obviously Stormin was a good example, started off with grime and then kind of moved it. I think he started off with grime and then
that's right.
Bass, right? But P Money is like one of the best MCs because we were booking him quite a lot when I was doing my drum and bass stuff, and obviously he's doing mostly drum and bass stuff, I guess now, or a lot of drum and bass stuff now, at least anyway. But it's, you know, it's so different. I found it really interesting to see how difficult a lot of grime MCs found that crossing over into the other genres.
Yeah, I think Devilman's quite big in drum and bass.
Yeah. We had actually. That was the first time I had P Money. Actually, I had Devilman on that show as well, and that is like, man, this kid comes in, and I was like, what the fuck, my drum and bass father.
Yeah, big up Devilman. He had a clip that went viral as well. I went to Birmingham. I was in Birmingham 3 times like 2 weeks ago, and Devilman stopped by one of them, and his clip went viral as well.
Yeah,
people haven't heard him on grime for a while. But I think your question in terms of, is it grime artists going on to other genres?
Yeah, just like that kind of transition of moving out.
Yeah. I think it's not for everyone. It's just one of them. It's artist dependent. Some people can sort of skate around onto different genres, and other people can't. And I think that's a good reason why I think grime was birthed as well, because I think a lot of them wanted to rap.
Yeah.
Couldn't rap, but
couldn't keep up with the pace of drum and bass
or your drum and bass jungle, and
slow it down, man.
Slow it down. Yeah, but you know, my generation came from drum and bass, so I don't know. You know, DWE's good on drum and bass as well. You know, that's his first thing. So,
you mentioned the thing with Dizzee, the Essence thing you did with Dizzee.
Yeah.
I can't not have you here and not talk about what you did with bringing Dizzee and Wiley back together recently. Where did that come? How did that happen? That was again, a mad viral moment.
Mad. That was probably, it was crazy viral for me. It's, you know, I think that, I know that spiraled from the Dizzee Essence, what we spoke about.
Yeah.
And I said to Dizzee, because Dizzee was excited about it as well. It's like, I had so much fun doing that. That was sick. So, you know, my idea was, we need to do this live. Let's pull up somewhere, announce it a few days before, and let people experience this side. Because, you know, Dizzee's done Boy in the Corner, he's done O2, 20,000 people, but he's still sort of concert style.
Yeah.
Let's give them the, you know, Sidewinder-esque, you know, live bars, reloads, you know.
Yeah.
And that's all we was going to do. And that's what I intended to do. But obviously when I've put it out, and then the first person that we saw walking through the crowd was actually Wiley. So I think amongst that all happening,
and like the crowd just like, it's like the Red Sea just popped.
No, it was mad, you know. And I don't think that in the moment I didn't realize what was going on. It's just kind of like, I am fanning out as much as everyone else, you know, because I was in the truck.
Was everyone like, oh shit, it's white? Like,
they was excited because I've announced Dizzee, like Dizzee's hair. I announced Wiley's hair. Dizzee was like, call him over. When Wiley got onto the truck, everyone got excited. And again, I was just fanning out. Was just in the moment.
Yeah.
And then even afterwards, I don't think it sunk in till we went to edit the footage straight after. And
I saw the post that you put up on Instagram, and you just wrote, "We did that."
Yeah,
it's exactly how I imagine. You just like that. You're living in the moment, and then afterwards, you kind of going back, and you're like, "Fuck."
Yeah, crazy.
That happened.
A big up Pierre as well, because you know he captured the content. The videographer that captured that content. When I saw the quality and how it looked, it felt right. Like
justifies not doing the live stream and just getting that content.
100%. You know, those moments there, and just focusing on what's happening within that. Yeah.
What's that's obviously a mad kind of back and forth to have, or a couple of guys on there. What's the dream Cypher lineup, I should say?
Boy, I think I've had them.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm honest, I think having like all the artists and then a few American artists in the same room.
Who would you go? That's an interesting one actually, though, because obviously, you know, Drake, Kanye have embraced like UK culture and UK hip hop a lot.
Yeah.
who outside? I guess those two might be ones,
Yeah.
but like, who? What are the, on the
I think
over the other side of the pond? What's
the chances of that happening are crazy, but I think anyone like that, I think I'm not really in tune with some of the new artists, but for the people that I would, those two names, Kanye or a Drake or someone like that being in the room while something like that is going on would be sick.
Do you reckon they can hold their own with the UK guys?
Depends what they're going over. Definitely not over Grime. I think they might be a bit overwhelmed, but you never know.
I think you know.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. But creatively, both of them is something, could do crazy stuff with them. So, yeah.
It's are you finding, obviously, just talking about the content a lot, obviously, and kind of perfecting that look and making sure it's shit hot and looks at, because that, it drives the numbers. We do loads of stuff with TikTok and Instagram and socials. How do you find those platforms have changed? Do you move in time with the algorithm? Do you find one platform better than the other? Is there, what's the,
in terms of, they all operate different. And I think TikTok, I haven't quite got my head around.
I don't know. Nobody has.
Yeah, I haven't quite got my head around TikTok. It's so, temperamental. Instagram is cool. In terms of monetizing, I think YouTube is the place to be.
Yeah.
And I have a team that manages that separately, whose main focus is YouTube.
Yeah.
I want to try and relieve myself of anything like that so that I can free up myself to be creative. So I just focus up at the moment. I prefer to do Instagram and work on TikTok as well. Instagram drives everything for me personally, but I think monetization tends to come from TikTok and YouTube, but I'm not really fussed. YouTube is what my main focus is.
You mentioned just you want to be the creative side. We've met a few times and we've chatted on some various bits. It's insane how creative the ideas that you've thrown out, and we've talked about Alexandra, and we've talked about bits. The thing that stuck with, I think about this all the time. When you go into space?
Oh,
I was like, what's the? Yeah, he wants to go to space.
Yeah,
I'm like, what?
I do. I would definitely go to space. You know what? I just like doing creative things that are a bit out there. And I think if we could find a way to do something crazy like that and break a record and, have it, like if someone's willing to put the money where their mouth is, I'm willing to do it.
Red Bull, listening.
Yeah,
listening, yeah. Man wants to go to space.
Yeah, so.
First DJ in space, surely, no? Maybe?
I believe there's been one. Or someone's done something in space, or they've transmitted from, I don't know.
I might be able to get you a hot air balloon. I don't know if I can
that's boring.
I don't know if I can get you a rocket. We'll try.
I'm not interested in a hot air balloon. Oh, yeah.
Okay, listen, so we're just off the back of your first big full takeover and a sold out show at Ministry of Sound. Well done, first of all. 2,000 people in there with a mad lineup. Again, bringing some names together and that on a lineup that some announced, some guests that just jumped down. What was that like? How important is that for both for you but also for the culture?
I think honestly speaking, it hasn't fully sunk in yet, but I understand.
It's like we did that. Still a we did that.
Yeah.
You're waiting for the we did that.
Yeah. No, it was really cool. And what I liked about it the most, which I think some other events have lacked, not all, is the multi-genre element of allowing people to enjoy different musics in different spaces. And what I was most proud of, I believe, is that walking from the main room, which was all mainly grime, into the 103, which is a separate space, and it was like house-based, and that was jumping off.
Yeah.
Then I went into the loft, which was another separate space, and it was like R&B, Afrobeat, dancehall, and that was jumping off. So the people had the choice to go to different places and experience different music.
Yeah.
It wasn't just, it was a party. I wasn't trying to have a concert element. Yes, that's infused in it, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what's driving it. But it's a party. You can go there and enjoy all types of music and learn new music and just party. What we're meant to do. There wasn't many phones apart from the main set.
Yeah.
People wasn't doing all of that. I was looking around and people was really enjoying themselves.
Yeah,
That's what I'm most.
Do you know how difficult it is that, you know, we see it all the time because, you know, venues, festivals, people not moving.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's just like glued to their phones. There's so many parties, so many artists across different genres that are driving it. But so it's, you know, it's testament to you and what you've built there and what you really delivered on that people were living in the moment.
Yeah.
You know, it's so difficult. It's so difficult to see that now. It's so hard. Everybody's striving to like, you know, no phone policies and stuff. To not have to do that and still have that. People just going, fuck that. I've had that a couple of times where you're filming. I'm like, fuck this. Just like, you know, you just want to live in it because it's so. I wish we had more of those moments. But that's, you know, it was awesome to see that. You know, all the videos you can see it. You know, the movement. People just like, you know, proper losing it. Specs showing up and just like, you know, everyone just mine's gone, mine's gone. But that multi-genre thing, actually, what you just mentioned about the multi-genre stuff, that is, you know, I can see that in your videos and your content now, and you're starting to move, you know, be a bit more diverse and stuff. Is that a conscious transition across multiple
conscious
things?
I think I personally don't just like grime, and I personally don't just like playing grime. So I like playing house and I like playing Afro house and I'm a piano. So it's important for me to explore, and not even just explore. I like playing this stuff, and I'm fortunate enough to be able to play in other venues that are other genres like house and stuff, which is not easy for someone like that's known as a grime DJ to be accepted into another genre. But so it's important for me to display that and also do more of, because there's not just grime talent and there's more talent, and I want to be able to bring what I'm doing to other places, you know, other cities, other countries, and they're not just all grime. So.
Yeah, fine. What keeps you moving? What keeps you motivated to like keep being diverse, keep being, you know, changing, you know, different content styles? You know, I'm sure the essence won't be the last little series of stuff that you do. What keeps them?
I know. I think I just need to be excited by what I'm doing. So the minute something feels a little bit mundane, I'm on to the next thing. Yeah. And I want to keep it fresh. I want to be innovative. I want to, you know, because if I'm not someone else's, and, you know, if I'm not in someone else's, and I don't know, maybe it's this undiagnosed ADHD. I don't know.
I'm getting that quite a lot these days as well. Maybe we should go and see someone together.
It's all right. I'll diagnose myself. I'm happy with that. I'll just put it out when I'm ready.
Yeah, but I feel like listen, I feel like the best creatives are. You know, the more creative people I've been around, and you know, I'm in a similar space myself. But you know, it feels like you need a bit of ADHD to really drive that creativity, because otherwise you kind of end up sitting in the same spot at once and you're like, nah, I need to keep moving.
The answer to your question, I don't even know the answer. I just wake up and I'm excited to do something. I get an idea in my head and I got to do it. So that's what it is.
How do you want to be remembered? Like, for your influence on grime culture, on, you know, is there a legacy that you feel like you're consciously trying to build, or is it just organically flowing through? But what's the
I think my thing, what I would love people to think when they think of me, is someone that turned their life around, and that, you know, if someone was in like a sticky place, like a dark place, that there's people that have done it as well.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when I started to look at other ways, I always would I would hear of someone else who's done that, and I didn't know that about them. So when I'd hear it, I was like, oh, they did that too. So I would like to have the legacy of the music and whatever I've created and left behind. But I also want people to remember that too. That's more important to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
No, it's good. Yeah, I very much appreciate that.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone like the younger generation now coming through, whether that's grime, you know, whatever the genre is, but, you know, coming up in this London, you know, London is so different now.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've lived here for I'm obviously not from London, but you know, I've lived here for, God, 15 plus years. It's even from the time I've lived here, it's so different. Music is so different. How, you know, the culture is so different. Social media is a different beast now.
Yeah.
What advice could you give to someone kind of trying to break into this space now, you know, trying to be creative, trying to make it in this music and cultural melting pot?
Yeah. I think the main thing what I would say is find something you like doing and then do it yourself. Like, don't wait for no one to give you an opportunity. I think if you create your own opportunities and you do it well, and opportunities will present themselves. Don't sort of wait for doors to open, or, you know, shut down because you think no one's giving you a chance, or that sort of mentality. I think lose that mentality and think, I'll do it myself. I'll make my own opportunities, and the doors will open and opportunities will present themselves once you've made your own opportunities.
That's very much full circle on what we were kind of talking about right at the beginning. You know, the whole scene, you know, not giving it, not being, those doors not being open. So, you know, we'll make the doors and then we'll fucking smash them down.
Yeah.
What's next for you, man? What's coming? Oh, you know, I know you mentioned before your label, you're producing, your own tunes and stuff. What's coming up for you?
Label, production, you know, more Essence stuff, more events, and an album, and my clothing brand, Saber 6.
Nice.
I'm gonna relaunch it in.
Okay, nice. I'll be waiting for my merch.
Yeah, not merch, please. No, label, fashion label.
I want a hat.
Yeah, a hat. It's not merch though.
No, the label. Yeah, no, the
merch
label.
is like, it's not merch.
No, I get that.
Cool.
Who have you got? Are you on the label? Is it just you? Are you just your stuff you're pushing through it? You got artists coming through? Who's hot to watch?
I've got a few tracks with RB. He's 16, going on 17. Young grime artist coming through. Really, really good 4-track EP with him. I've got a track that we're releasing with Big Tobes in the next few weeks. I've got a house EP that has got some tracks that's causing noise online at the moment. One of them's doing really well. It's a Snow Allegra remix. We got Snow Allegra because he got Snow Allegra, and just music and fashion.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Where do you see? I guess just to wrap things up here, where do you see grime in the next, going in the next 5 years? Obviously it's been, I think people like Skepta, Boy, but they've obviously really, and Stormzy, etc. They've really blown, taken it over, taken it to the US. Really driven that. I guess massively helped at least drive that big mainstream push. What's next for grime, for the scene?
I think the same thing that's been happening the whole time. I don't actually think it's gone anywhere. I think it's been going for 25 years. And, you have peaks and troughs, in terms of overground commercial way, but I think there's always going to be the ones who sort of take it a little bit further. Yeah. So I think it's just going to have the same trend where some guys will pop out of the woodworks and do really well. Like Stormzy popped out of grime when grime wasn't even in any sort of conversation. Yeah. So I think it's just going to still have the same pattern.
And I'm sure you'll be staying at very much at the forefront of it.
Hopefully.
Bro, listen, it's been awesome to chat and sit and chat through this. It's super interesting, and it is an honor to have you on, and you are grime royalty. It's a legend of the scene, and a London legend, and what you're doing with socials, with your content, with your shows, with your productions and stuff. I'm so excited to see what happens next, and I'm sure next time we have you on, which I would love to, there'll be some, maybe you've been to space.
Thank you.
We'll see. Next interview we'll do on Mars.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Brother, thank you very much. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, subscribe to all our channels on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, and of course Instagram, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Thank you.